Hey, what's up everyone, Roskill here. Bit of a different video today, because recently just got hold of the new BR changes that are planned in the game. So thought I'd talk about them, the upcoming BR changes, because, oh boy. Let's just get into it right now then. It's probably going to be a quick video, so no gameplay or anything, so if you don't like videos with no gameplay at all, then click off now because this isn't the video for you, but if you're interested, here we go. So the new Swedish SAV 2012-48 is going from 3.3 to 3.7, which I think is completely justified considering it has the fastest fire rate out of any tank in the game at literally 1 second a shot in its clip, which is insane. And I think 3.7 suits it quite well, or will, or at least balance it out a little bit. Next we have the Type 74G, that's going from 8.7 to 9.0. Now this will make a lot of people happy because it's a tier 5 premium tank, which is now going to 9.0 instead of being at 8.7. Same with the Leopard A1A1 L44, which I know a lot of people have wanted that to go back up to 9.0 for a long time, and now it is now going back to 9.0. The AMX30 Super is going to 9.0 as well, so anyone who's in their 7.7s getting absolutely decimated by French super tanks, worry no more, because it's going to 9.0. You won't see it anymore at 7.7. After that we got the M42 Duster, that's going from 6.7 to 6.0. And I'd also like to point out as well, probably should have pointed it out in the start of the video, but this is completely unscripted. This is realistic battles only. I'm only going realistic battles here. I'm not bothering with arcade. The M42 China is also going up down to 6.0 from 6.7, so they're both going down. Same with the Japanese one. The automatic is going from 9.7 to 10.0. I don't really see any real problems with that there. Panzer III E is going from 1.7 to 1.3, which I think in that sense is justified because the Panzer III E, its turret traverse is terrible. It's a terrible Panzer III, so that should help it out a bit. The Italian 7534 M42 is going from 3.0 to 2.7. The Italian tanks, most of the early Italian tanks aren't exactly the best, so this will probably help them out a little bit. Now this one is very interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this progresses. All of the KV2s are going from 4.3 to 4.0. So, when they get a down tier now, they're going to be fighting 3.0 tanks. The KV2. The vodka launcher itself, Stalin's Bunker, is going down to 4.0 from 4.3, so that will be interesting to see how many 3.0 tanks it terrifies and drives into a corner before hitting them with that big gun. Now, the Russian KV-1S is also going from 4.3 to 4.0. Alright, apologies. No, I am right. It is going. I was reading the because I've got it up here. I was reading it wrong there for a moment. Yeah, the KV-1S from 4.3 to 4.0 along with the KV-2, so that should be interesting. Now, this one I think is stupid because it is already a very good tank at the battle rating it's at. And the battle rating they're going to put it at now, I think is going to it's just going to seal club. It'll be a seal clubber. The ARL 44 ACL1 is going from 4.0 to 3.7. 2.7s can now fight that thing. Oh boy, that sounds very fun fighting that at 2.7. In a 2.7 tank. So fun. Another Italian tank, the 7532 M41, is going from 2.7 to 2.3. Once again, all the Italian low tier tanks that get lower battle rating, the better it's going to be for the Italians. The Conqueror, everyone who used to enjoy playing, well, who enjoys playing your Conqueror at 7.3, enjoys playing your British M103 at a lower battle rating, this is going to spoil that for you. It's going from 7.3 to 7.7. It's going to the same battle rating now as the M103, which means there is absolutely no advantage in playing it over the M103 anymore. And after the Conqueror, we have the Vickers MBT, which is going from 7.3 to 7.7. I'm okay with that. The Vickers MBT is pretty much a British autoloader, so, with no armour. So I don't really think it matters if it goes up in BR, because it's not going to change the playstyle of the tank. The Centurion Mark 10 is also going to 7.7. The Mark 10's not a 7.7 tank. It's not 7.7 worthy. It's not the Mark 13. The Mark 13 could go to 7.7, but not the Mark 10. We don't have the Mark... Well, the closest we have to the Mark 13 at the moment is the Shot. But that's not a Mark 13. But it's the closest we have. After the Centurion Mark 10, Panzer III J1 is going down to 2.7 from 3.0. I don't understand this one. The Panzer III J1, I do believe it's one of the first long-barreled Panzer IIIs that you can get. So I don't understand why that's going down in BR. However, it's probably welcome news to anyone who does play lower tier Panzer IIIs. The Panzer III F, on the other hand, is going from 2.0 to 1.7. Another terrible Panzer III that I'm glad is going down in BR. The American T20 is now going from 5.3 to 5.7. It is now higher BR than the Tiger 1. That's fun. The Japanese Cheeto is going from 4.3 to 4.7. So there is no advantage of playing that over the Cheeto late anymore. However, it does mean also that 4.7 Japan should be now quite a solid lineup, because they'll all be the same BR. The T25 is going from 5.7 to 6.0. A M26 Pershing that is worse in every way. Actually, sorry, is definitely worse in every way. And has a worse gun, worse everything. Is now going to be only 0.3 battle rating lower than the M26 Pershing, which means it will probably see what the M26 Pershing sees on a regular basis, which means there's no point in playing it over the Pershing anymore. The M18 is going from 5.3 to 5.7. This is all the M18s. The M18 on the American side, the Black Cat as well, and the Chinese M18, I believe. Yep. I think the Chinese have an M18. I'm just going to check that real quick, just to make sure I'm getting my facts right here. Yep, there you go. There's the M18, China. Right. So the Chinese M18 and all the other M18s are going to 5.7, apart from the Super M18 Hellcat, which is staying where it is. Now, this is the one that has pissed me right off. It is... I don't understand why Gaijin have decided to do this. The T29 is going from 6.7 to 7.0. Why? I don't understand why this is going to 7.0 from 6.7. It's perfectly fine where it is at 6.7. If we look at this now, I thought maybe it's the penetration. Maybe it has good penetration. It has 250mm of pen at 100 meters, and at more of a combat range, it has 236mm of pen. Let's go to the T34, which is staying where it is. What? So you're telling me you're going to move the T29 up to 7.0, yet the T34 is staying exactly where it is when it has... Look at the penetration difference. 263mm at 500 meters. Let's go back to the T29. 236. 238 with the AP. So that's 236. 263. So let's just round it off just to make it easier. So 236, let's say it's 240 versus 260. That's still 20mm of pen difference. What? If you're going to move the T29 up, then the T34 has to go up as well. Because the only thing I can see with this is because the T29 has a faster reload. That's the only reason I can see. But if we're going to go that route, it's not that much faster, as you can see there. 19.4 seconds, 16.3. The only thing I can think of is that people have been playing their T29s well recently, and Gaijin have seen that in the stats, and because of that, they believe, oh, it should be 7.0 now, because obviously, it shouldn't be sitting at 6.7, even though it's been sitting at 6.7 for years. It's been at 6.7 for years since it came out. People learned how to deal with the tank. Everyone moaned about it at first. It's the same with any tank that comes out at first. No one knows how to deal with it. And then when everyone eventually figures out how to deal with it, it just becomes another tank in the game. And it's fine where it is. Most of the time. Tanks like the IS-6, they're an exception. But the T29 is fine at 6.7. It's the American equivalent to the Tiger II. So why is it going up to 7.0? It's now going to suffer the same thing the T95 does, in when it gets up tiered, which it will. It's going to get dragged into the black hole, which is 8.0, 7.7 now, all the time, like the T95 does. So, if you're planning on getting the T29, if you haven't already, hold off, because it's going to 7.0. And I do believe that it's going to suffer in the way the IS-6 did, in where its armour will become almost completely useless in an up tier, because it will almost always get up tiered now. I mean, it got up tiered 7.7 a lot anyway, so God knows what's going to happen to it now. But moving on from that little rant there with the T29, because I don't want to be sticking on that the rest of the video, we have the M4A1 76 moving from 4.7 to 5.0. I'm okay with this. You've got the M4A2 and M4A3 around the same BRs. There's not really much difference in any of those tanks, other than the M4A2 and 3 are boxier than the M4A1. But either way, they all get penned anyway, so the only good thing about them is their gun, in my opinion. So here we have the M4A3 76 is moving from 5.3 to 5.7. Here we go again. Why? That thing's going to get slaughtered by Tiger IIs. It's got no chance against Tiger IIs, and it's going to be fighting them all the time now, because it's going to be sucked into the Black Hole 6.7 battle range. The Black Hole battle range 6.7, 7.7, 8.7. They're all Black Hole battle range. If you are 5.7, most likely is you're going to get sucked up into 6.7 or 6.3. And all the M4A3s are moving up to 5.7. The M4A2 is staying where it is at 5.3. Now the KV-1 ZIS 5 is moving down Never mind. That's only arcade. My bad. That is only arcade. Ignore that. Ah, here we go. The French are getting pretty much bullied again. The Lorraine 40T, 7.3. It's now moving up to 7.7. Apparently, according to Gaijin, the Lorraine 40T is the equivalent of a Leopard 1. Okay then. I mean, it doesn't have Sabo, and its repair cost is ridiculous. I think the only thing that rivals the Lorraine 40T's repair cost is my own E100. But okay. Gaijin just seem to hate that tank. They're doing everything they can to make life a misery for the Lorraine 40T players. The German M41 Walker Bulldog is going from 6.7 to 6.3. Why? Gaijin, I'd think that the American Walker Bulldog should go to 6.3 and the German one stay where it is because of the heat, but okay, you want to put it at 6.3, yeah? Pfft, fine. That's going to be fun to deal with. The German M48 A2C is now going from 7.3 to 7.0. So what you're telling me, Gaijin, is my T29 is now going to have to fight them constantly. Literally every game I'm going to be fighting M48 A2Cs in a T29. That sounds like fun and interesting gameplay right there. An Italian tank, the 7546 M43, is going from 4.3 to 4.7. And here we go again. I don't even see how this tank is going up in BR because it's a worse version. I forgot the name of the tank. Give me a moment. Yep. Right. So the AMX 50 is going from 7.0 to 7.3. Okay then. I mean, it's a worse version of the AMX M4, but okay. I mean, I prefer. I mean, some people might prefer the AMX 50, but I don't get how. I mean, yeah, it's got the 100mm from the Lorraine 40T, but the one thing it doesn't have, if I go to it now, if we just look at it real quick. So, if I go to my AMX M4, let's show armor. 80mm. 85 cast, so it's about 80mm. This turret is super troll. The amount of bounces and life-saving bounces that I've got on this turret, this is by far, at least around the 6.0, 6.7 area, by far my favourite French tank to play, because that turret is great. It's a French tank with proper medium tank armor. And then you go to the AMX 50. Yeah, you have a slightly bigger gun, but now your turret has no armor. Nobody's going to be stupid enough to aim at the hull of this thing. They'll just aim at the turret. So why is it going up in BR? It's not as fast as the Lorraine. It's not as maneuverable as the Lorraine. It literally has nothing the Lorraine has. The Lorraine may be going 7.7, which I think is stupid. But the one thing it still has is its speed, like the Leopard 1. But it isn't comparable to a Leopard 1. It doesn't have the Leopard 1's rounds. It doesn't have heat, which is what the Leopard 1 always uses at BR, which is what makes it good. And Gaijin's trying to tell us that this should be at 7.3, where you need your speed and maneuverability to be able to survive, or at least you did in Lorraine. Yeah, this doesn't have that. The AMX 50 is going to get slaughtered. at 7.3. The amount of questionable battle rating choices in this upcoming BR change. Guys, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Well, I think that's, oh, I might as well mention this as well. For anyone who's, researching the the BMP2, hurry up and research it. Hurry up and get it now. Get it now. Because when this little patch drops, something fun is going to happen for you guys. The Object 906 is switching places with the BMP2. So, you'll be halfway, you'll research your BMP2. You can't buy this vehicle because the previous vehicle has not been purchased. So then you'll have to research the 906 as well. So hurry up, research it, purchase it now. If you haven't purchased it yet, but you have it researched and it's just sitting there waiting to be bought, get it. Because you'll be put through pain and suffering after the patch. Because you'll have to research through another vehicle to get the BMP2. So I think that's going to be it, guys. My next video will be slightly delayed because I did already record it, but I'm not happy with the recording and I'm going to record it again. I need to merge two videos together in one for this next one, so I'm trying to I'm going to have a go at editing skills, so it's probably going to take a bit longer to get this next one out, but I hope you can wait and bear with me, and hopefully it'll be worth it. So I think that's it. See you in the next one.